Hi, Lisa Workman here, wanting to talk to you a little bit about your neck. Yes, it's that time of year where we might be feeling some strain, some discomfort right in through our neck. We put so much demand on our neck that I wanted to share with you 3 simple exercises that you could do for yourself, plus 1 bonus. And I'm all about the bonuses, so I'm gonna actually start with the bonus. But before I get to that, I want to talk to you about a little bit what happens at the neck. We have 3 major planes of motion in our body, and the neck does all 3 of them. They allow us to bend forward. The neck allows us to move forward and back, side to side, and then what we call lateral flexion. So it allows us to tip our heads to the side, left and right. So the neck's a pretty amazing structure made up of 7 different vertebrae. And with that, it allows us to do all those 3 different actions. So guess what? A lot of us deal with this sort of chin extension, or if I give you my profile, this chin reach. And the crazy thing is that for every inch forward that your chin protrudes, it's a 10-fold increase in the amount that this big noggin, this big head, puts down onto the spine. So you can imagine if you have that chin tuck, or excuse me, not tuck, protrusion forward, then you're putting a lot more strain on your neck with every inch forward. So we want to try to avoid that. So first, here's my bonus. I love to surf. So we're going to use our trick of our hang 10 hand. And how we're going to do it is slot that pinky finger and that thumb on 2 parts of the vertebra. We're going to try to find the back of the skull, the very top of the neck, which we have a little vertebra just up tucked under what's called the occipital bone. And we want that pinky finger to land on the back of the head. That thumb then comes all the way down and is trying to look for the most prominent protrusion in the neck. So that typically is sort of like what we feel like a little bit of a bump in the back of our neck. That is our cervical spine 7, so C7. So our pinky finger is on the occipital bone and the thumb is landing on C7. We want to have the distance of this hang 10 throughout our neck. So anytime you do an exercise, check the hang 10 on the neck first, see where that alignment is, do your neck exercises, and then see where that hand lands at the very end. It's a really good tool just to make sure you know what you're doing with your neck. Okay, here's the first exercise. Let's get into it. Now, I talked all about that chin protrusion already. So a simple trick that you can do is taking your middle and pointer finger and placing it nicely just on the tip of your chin, not needing to do anything more than that. And then from there, you want to see if you can just tuck that chin in ever so slightly. So you're going to pull the chin in just a tiny, tiny bit. It's the smallest motion. And what you might start to find is that you feel a little bit of lengthening, a little bit of longing through the back of the cervical spine, through the back of the neck, all the way up into the skull. Very tiny movement, but very effective in strengthening the muscles in the front of the neck and lengthening the ones on the back. Okay, exercise number 1 in the books. Exercise number 2 is going to target the muscles that are running on the very front of the neck. We can hold a lot of tension there, particularly if we are doing a lot of forward motion, looking down at our phones, looking at a computer screen. And so what we're going to do is open our mouths relatively wide, not as wide as you can, but open it up nice and wide. From there, you're going to tip your head slightly back. So we're not going to knock the head back just willy-nilly. We're going to lift that head up and back as we keep that mouth open. In that position, you might start to feel a stretch through that front of the neck muscle. And then to intensify that stretch, you're going to close your mouth as your head is still in that back position. From there, we're slowly going to bring that face back to face forward, bringing the neck back into alignment. So it's a movement with the mouth, opening up the mouth, lengthening through the neck, getting that extra stretch when we close the mouth, and then slotting the head back down. It's getting a nice opening through the muscle groups in the front of our neck. And finally, exercise number 3, we can't forget any sort of sideways motion. So I encourage you to think about a dark window. And for you to look into that dark window, you need to place your hands onto the sides of your head. So placing those hands on the side of the head, sealing out any light that's coming in, kind of pretending that you're looking into something dark. Now using those hands to glide the head either side to side, so we have rotation going from side to side, and then the tipping action where we're calling it lateral flexion, where we're bringing the ear down to the shoulder. And of course, you're not going to reach your ear to your shoulder. You're simply going to just try to move the head side to side. And with that, you've got 1 bonus, 3 exercises. I encourage you to use that hang 10 before each of those 3 exercises, locating that occipital bone and that cervical spine 7, so that we can see if these exercises are changing the dynamics and the mobility in the neck musculature and skeletal system. With that being said, hopefully your neck is feeling a little bit better in this holiday season with these 3 simple exercises. Thanks so much for watching. This is Lisa Workman. Happy moving.